Dallas taking on Winnipeg, 65-66 Winnipeg. About -110 to -115 at home in this game. The total pretty much 6 right across the board for this hockey game. And the Winnipeg Jets, I'll tell you what, it's been the team that, with Connor Hellebuyck in net, it's been great. 6-1 they are with Hellebuyck in net. Haven't won with Steve Mason in net, and that formula's worked for the Winnipeg Jets so far this season. Hellebuyck, again, very, very strong in net the other night in that 2-1 road win against Minnesota. 2 wins in a row for this Winnipeg Jets team coming into this game against Dallas. And the Stars, they've won 2 in a row as well after snapping a 2-game losing streak. Beat Calgary 2-1, beat Vancouver 2-1 in overtime. And Ben Bishop, again, is starting to round into form. He's had a couple of really, really good starts in a row for the Dallas Stars. And you talk about a situation where it's a chance for him, I think, to get going a little bit and have some success and really give the Stars some stability in terms of goaltending. Outstanding performance on Monday against Vancouver. They didn't play sharp. They got outplayed. The puck possession and the territorial play went to Vancouver a little bit, but Ben Bishop was scintillating in that game. 38 saves to preserve that 2-1 win. You got 2 good goaltenders in good form right now, Hellebuyck and Bishop coming into this game. You've got Dallas trying to adopt more of a defensive-minded nature after years and years where they paid no respect whatsoever to the defensive end of the ice. Bad goaltending was part of it. A shaky defense was part of it. And as a result, Ken Hitchcock's there now because they want to bring in that defensive mindset. We'll see if they can bring that here to the table against the high-flying Winnipeg Jets in this hockey game. We've got all 3 of my ice guys, I think, involved in this game. Yes, this is a full house. Everybody's joining in on the party here in Winnipeg tonight. It's a party in the peg with the ice guys. Alex, Dana, Andrew, all involved. Let's start left to right. Alex, what are you looking at with the Stars and the Jets?
I'm actually looking at the under in this spot here. I think it's a little bit high. Like I said, both goalies are looking really sharp. Hellebuyck's been, playing out of his mind. That game that they basically stole, with Minnesota, where they only had 19 shots on goal, but he made some big saves. They got that 2-1 win. So I think, like I said, the team plays well around him, and I'm hoping that Paul Maurice, sticks with Hellebuyck. I mean, there's no reason not to with the record right now. And you look at that rounding in the form now, team that needs to kind of like play a little bit tighter defensively. Last 2 games have gone under the total after having 4 games go over. And you look at the Jets, 3 of the last 4 have gone under. So I think we're going to see good efforts from both goaltenders tonight. I think this game should go under that 6.
Not a bad thought. Under 6 makes some sense to me. Andrew, what's your take on the game here in the peg?
Looks like I'm going to have to do it, guys. I actually like the over in this game. Look, the fact really is that I just think that Winnipeg kind of has that contagious sense to them. As good as Connor Hellebuyck has been, I think that, with Dallas coming in, and Dallas kind of been one of those teams that really feeds off the style of the team that they're playing. And, I think that they're a team that can, play defensively. They can kind of slow things down if they want to, but if you look at their lineup, they also do have the star power guys that put the puck in the back of the net. And I don't really see Winnipeg slowing down anytime soon either with their firepower as well. So I think coming into this game, Winnipeg's going to start off with a lot of momentum. They're going to be very fast-paced. They're not going to go slow at all. There's going to be lots of power play opportunities, I think, for both teams. Both teams have dangerous power plays. And look, like I said, Dallas has been one of those up-and-down teams as far as covering the over so far to start this season off. But when they're going to go up against a team like Winnipeg, I think coming into this game, they're expecting a dogfight. They're expecting a track meet. So it's going to change their style of play, which is why it makes me change my thought on liking the over. So coming into this game, look, we've got Ben Bishop and Connor Hellebuyck, 2 solid goalies. So I can't blame Alex for liking the under. I just can't see this being a slow-paced game whatsoever, guys. It's going to be quite the battle for me. And like I said, these are 2 teams with the power plays that can both get the job done. So that's the reasoning for me, like in the over 6.
All right, so you got conflicting viewpoints. Nothing wrong with that. Under for Alex, over for Andrew. 4-1 to the over, by the way. Winnipeg in 5 home games, and this is going to be interesting. I don't know what Dana's got on this game. If it's a total, he's going to break a tie here and be the tiebreaker. If it's a side, it's just going to be a Lone Ranger thing. But Dana, what are you looking at here?
Well, it's going to be a total. And, man, I'm telling you, boy, do we love some Connor Hellebuyck all of a sudden, huh? This is a guy that's strung together a couple good starts, but has a career goals against average that's well over 2.5. And, that to me says, great, nice start, that's for sure. But let's see more of a body of work before I start considering you an automatic under. I mean, as far as the total is concerned, more on the offensive side is how long are we going to expect Patrik Laine to kind of be in his mini slump? And although his numbers have been fantastic this year, and he's right on par to have 30 goals this season, he hasn't lit the lamp in 4 games. And what's more concerning about that is that he only had 7 shots on goal. He's just not involved in offensively. So there is going to be a time where he is going to have to step up and be Patrik Laine. And lucky for Winnipeg, they have guys like Ehlers and Wheeler and Scheifele. I mean, these guys can step up and kind of hide the fact that he is in a little bit of a mini slump. And the one thing that I always kind of look for with teams, even like Winnipeg, who, by all accounts, I think that if they tell you or are honest with you in the offseason, I think they're very happy with what they accomplished last year. But I think we talk about Winnipeg and we talk about Anaheim and maybe even Toronto, even though that doesn't apply this year. I think sometimes teams, after they've had success, after not having it for so long, I think when people start telling them, you're on a fast track to the Stanley Cup, I think they forget about how difficult it is to actually get yourself in the position to be considered a team that potentially could win the Stanley Cup. That's a difficult road, and I think there's a lot of teams that are kind of going through that right now. So maybe it's not a team, maybe it's a player, maybe it's, Patrik Laine, or let's look at the Edmonton Oilers when they started the season, their first game, an easy win against the Calgary Flames, and then they hit the wall. And so I think a lot of these teams, and maybe it's happening to Patrik Laine right now, he's got to kind of dig inside of himself and get to that other side of the wall to be able to continue on the pace that he's used to playing at. And yeah, I mean, again, let's not go overboard with Laine, but him being so non-existent in the offense lately worries me, but then excites me as far as my play is concerned. I'm not in love. We talked the other day. I'm not in love with Winnipeg defensively. I'm still not jumping up and down when I see Collar Hellebuyck being confirmed. Their goals against are okay, but they give up way too many shots per game for me. In fact, there's only 3 other teams in a league or 4 other teams in a league that give up more shots on goal than the Winnipeg Jets. So now they face the Stars team, bringing in Tyler Seguin, who is a guy that is a point-a-game guy against the Jets historically, and since he left Boston and went to Dallas, he's almost a point and a half, or he's more than a point and a half game against Winnipeg. So he's had a tremendous amount of success, and even if he can, get on the scoreboard once, that's 1 goal for us. And look, we're going to go back and talk about Hellebuyck again. I mean, he was sensational against the Stars, but as long as he's playing in front of a team that gives up a ton of chances on a nightly basis, which they do, it's very difficult for me to bet the under, even though it's a 6. So I'm going over 6 minus $1.08 with this game tonight.
So you're saying that 1.91 and 940 goals against and 940 save percentage, Dana, will not stay this way the whole season for Connor Hellebuyck, huh? That's it. I mean, I'm going out on a limb. I like to be on a limb. Yeah, I like to be on an island by myself, but no, I mean, listen, he's been in the league long enough where we kind of know what the book is on him, and the book has been that, he has been inconsistent. And I know that doesn't apply to right now, but again, let's not get so excited about a 5 or 10 game thing. Let's see what he does over 5 or 6 months, and then we can start to say, okay, well, this is what he's matured into, or this is what he is now. All I know is what he has been, and what he has been an below average goaltender. And until I see more from him, there's no reason I have to change my thinking on that. There you go. Alex has 1 point on this game too. Alex, what is it?
Yeah, the thing with Hellebuyck, I agree with most of what you're saying with Hellebuyck, but I think looking at this being a divisional matchup, and you look at his numbers overall, that's the one time where he really shines. I mean, I've seen this guy kill my Blackhawks time and time again, and I look it up. He's 19-8-2 with a 2.08 goals against and 4 shutouts in 32 games against the Central Division. So I feel like it's the one time he knows it's always going to be a big game within the division. So I think we see a better Hellebuyck against the Dallases and Minnesotas and Chicago's than we do against anybody else. So that's part of my reasoning as well for kind of liking the fact that Hellebuyck's playing this game tonight.
The one thing Paul Maurice mystifies me sometimes, though, he says after the Minnesota game, they won the game 2-1, but they got outshot 29-19. He says, I like it. We're playing faster now. That's the way we want to play. What do you mean the way you want to play? You got outshot 29-19 in that game. I mean, you were stuck in your own end for a lot of it. That's the way you want to play? Paul Maurice sometimes. Good man. Really nice guy, but some of the things he says just don't make any damn sense. You don't make sense, man, sometimes, and that was one of them.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.